All right, Colorado, we are back for the final episode of the Colorado Avalanche GM mode commentary. 7 years as the general manager, and I failed miserably, boys. We got ourselves another Vancouver Canucks GM mode. So Vancouver and Colorado, I was unable to bring a Stanley Cup to that city before management decided that the direction that general manager Superbman was taking the team was not in the team's best interest anymore. So I'm out the door, boys. Fired. Gonzo Alonso. Which really sucks because this was one of the best teams I felt like I built. I wanted a dynasty. 97 offense, 93 defense. But the goaltending, man. The goaltending was the big Achilles heel this entire 7-year run that we went on. First with Jean-Luc Picard, a pretty good goaltender that simulates well, but we had that Stanley Cup final, and in the last 3 games, he allowed 17 goals. And over the last 2 years with Ilya Samsonov, he just has not been a good simulating goaltender at all. So we got the offense, we got the defense, but just unable to bring a Patrick Waugh type goaltender back to Colorado, and it means 7 years of failure. So boys, in this video, we're just going to wrap up the 7 years that we've completed here in Colorado. But some good news, I do want to take this into the future. I just don't want to devote any more time for YouTube with this series. I want to start up a new GM mode commentary. And your Stanley Cup champions are the Dallas Stars. So I believe the last 3 years, we've lost to the Stanley Cup champions. We just could not get a damn break in these 7 years. It was Dallas this year, St. Louis last year, and the Carolina Hurricanes the year before that. Just one step behind. So we're going to be starting up a new GM mode commentary for YouTube, but this Saturday, I think I'm going to do it around 12 p.m. noon. We're going to do a live stream and continue the Colorado Avalanche GM mode, maybe 3-4 years, see if we can take this team to the next level, because there are a lot of fun things that we need to do. After all the contracts are up this year. So once again, boys, we're going to save the live stream for this Saturday at noon, but this video, we're just going to wrap it up and see how the league looks with all the player stats and all that, and we can take a look at our contract situation just to see what it looks like. It's going to be horrible, right? So, for the 3rd year in a row, your Colorado Avalanche lose to the Stanley Cup champions. Let me just go to this for a second here. The awards. The last 3, Dallas, St. Louis, and Carolina, right? So, Stanley Cup. Dallas, St. Louis, Carolina. Yeah, boys. How bad is that? This year we lose to the Dallas Stars in the Final 4. They go off to win the Stanley Cup. So Gabriel Landeskog wins the Stanley Cup with the Dallas Stars. I'll have to take a look at the player stats to see how he played. The St. Louis Blues, the team that beat us, what, like 3 or 4 times? 3 times. Was it 3 or 4 times? We beat them this year. I think we beat them, yeah, we're 1-3 now against the playoffs. So they beat us last year in round number 1, ended up going to the Stanley Cup Finals and winning. And 3 years ago, we lost to the Carolina Hurricanes with their 7 playmakers in the top 9. So 3 years in a row, we lose to the Stanley Cup winner. We just couldn't get it done, man. President's Trophy looks like that. Clarence S. Campbell looks like that. And Prince of Wales looks like that. Now let's go to the player awards. Art Ross, Luca Berzan for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah, they got back-to-back first overall picks with Matthews and Berzan. That's nice. Art Ross. Oh, I thought it was Calder. I was going to say Laine's only winning the Calder now. Hart Memorial goes to Leon Draisaitl, breaking up Patrick Laine's 3-year run. James Norris goes to Victor Hedman and Rasmus Dahlin. Yeah, that was another decision that may have come back to bite us in the ass, considering we only went 7 years. Ryan Merkley, 88 overall, while Rasmus Dahlin is winning the Norris Trophy. Our team might have been better had I selected him. Lady Bing goes to Artemi Panarin. Calder goes to Shushko. That guy goes in the 1st or 2nd year. So they've been growing that guy, and he came up and actually won the Calder. He's probably like 22, 23 years of age. It's Panarin 2.0. Conn Smythe goes to their goaltender, Alstad. Vesna goes to Thatcher Demko. William M. Jennings goes to Thatcher Demko. Bill Masterton, Jimmy Alexiak, Frank J. Selke, and Nico Hischier for the 2nd year in a row. Ted Lindsay, Leon Draisaitl, and Maurice Richard, Vladimir Tarasenko on those St. Louis Blues. All right, so there are the awards. Let's take a look at the player stats for the playoffs here. First, I want to take a look at Dallas Stars, at the Dallas Stars. See what kind of playoff run, what's his name, Gabriel Landeskog had. Hang on. Yeah, he's down there. All right, so he's on the 2nd line, 90 overall. How was he 90 overall on the 2nd line? They're not playing with Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn. If they did, I guarantee you you'd see numbers similar to Jason Dickinson. He's got 16 assists, 1 goal. Put Landeskog on that first line, he'd get far more points. But there he is, Gabriel Landeskog, 30 years of age, gets the Stanley Cup ring in Dallas. What a waste. What a waste. Thank you for everything you've done, Nolan Patrick. Big flop, my man. Big freaking flop. All right, I don't know why I quit that. Let me go back to player stats. So who came through for us in this playoff run and who didn't? It's a pain in the ass because the first 2 rounds we were actually dominating. I mean, yeah, Maxime Comtois, 18 points in 18 games played. Nathan MacKinnon, 16 in 18. Clayton Clutch Keller, JT Compher, Jonathan Drouin, there it is, Nolan Patrick. So, boys, we traded Gabriel Landeskog in the Year 1 NHL entry draft. We received Nolan Patrick. Well, we got the 3rd overall pick, and we selected Nolan Patrick. He is a great point producer, but it's like you can't win with him. I've tried him in the first line position. I've tried him on the second line position. I put him on the wing. I've tried all these different spots. He gets points during the regular season. I mean, look, his rookie year, 70 points in 82 games played, 46 and 49 when he was injured, 64 and 70, 50. That was a bad year, but then we got him playing with Maxime Comtois and Clayton Clutch Keller. He's like point per game, basically, and he scores goals. Then we get to the playoffs, 11 in 18 games played, 1 point in 5 games played, 10 points in 21 games played, 5 points in 11 games played. I think it's, I don't think it's rude to say Nolan Patrick is clearly not a playoff contender, especially not for the Colorado Avalanche. Maybe if we trade him away, but I can't get him going in the playoffs for some reason. All right, our captain has been better, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough. All those years that we had those 2 goals or less games against the St. Louis Blues, and then now against the Dallas Stars, they start outscoring us. Travis Sanheim, Pouliot, Merkley, Fowler, Goodbranson, and Barry, and here it is. Here's the weak spot of our team. I guarantee you, Ilya Samsonov, 87 overall. You guys were the ones who suggested that we go out there and acquire this guy. Save percentage of .905. Gabriel DePenta, save percentage of .882. That's it right there. If I could just have a goaltender like Jean-Luc Picard, who simulates well, 915 plus save percentage. I'm not even reaching for the moon here. 915 save percentage, our team would be that much better. You're telling me we got to a Game 6 in the Western Conference Final, 2 games away, 2 wins away from the Stanley Cup Final with a goaltender and a save percentage of .905. That's ridiculous, man. That's also the Brampton area code, but jeez, man. We can't do anything with that kind of goaltending, and our locker room chemistry has gone down to 61%. Jeez. All right, so that is our team. Maybe you guys could let me know, or your suggestions or opinions on why we weren't able to win a Stanley Cup. It just feels like we were there, but we were second best. The EA simulation just didn't give it to us. Like I said, last 3 years in a row, man, we lose to the Stanley Cup winning team. Piss off. Just give us something. All right, so I'm just going to sim the entire draft. The reason I want to do this is I want to go through a bunch of other teams and take a look at just how the NHL looks at this point with players that have grown. This will also give me a maybe a few ideas for our live stream on Saturday, because we're not going to be able to re-sign everyone. Some trades are definitely going to happen, especially guys who I still have as as restricted free agents, right? And our goaltender. Now, I can also make trades at the what's it called, at the draft right there. So when we bring it back on Saturday for the live stream, we're going to start it pre-NHL entry draft, so I can unload some salary right there. I just want to know what our team looks like. All right, so list all contracts. So before we take a look at our team, let's just go through a bunch of other teams looking at the best players on that squad, all right? So the Columbus Blue Jackets. We're not going to go through goaltenders or anything. I just want to see if there's any young rookies that have really taken off. So Zach Werenski, 88 overall. Dubois, 89 overall, medium elite. All right, that team looks fairly similar for 7 years in. Saad Jones was there, and I don't think the Columbus Blue Jackets won a Stanley Cup. The Dallas Stars, Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, John Klingberg, Gabriel Land. That's a nice 1-2. 2 Canadians, 2 Super Swedes in there. Yeah, and they're all in their prime, 33, 31. Well, not in their, like, they're there, you know what I mean? Like, it's the time to win the Stanley Cup for that team. It makes sense. We're still young compared to the Dallas Stars. Detroit Red Wings, let's see. Svechnikov, Larkin, D. Park. Here we go. Here's a guy, 22 years of age, medium elite. When did this guy get drafted? First overall in 2019. Darcy Park, offensive defenseman. Some nice stats in there. Look at that stick checking category, 99, and he's fast as well. All right, very nice. Let's go to the next team. The Edmonton Oilers, Connor McJesus. All right, so no Stanley Cups for Connor. Let's see, how does he simulate? Oh, yeah, he's simulating well. 94 points, point per game. I don't know what happened this season. Maybe they put him alongside of Leon Draisaitl. I wish I could make Connor McDavid get more points. I got his stats way up there. I've got to get his offensive awareness, his speed. Yeah, I got to get those all up to like 99 for the next GM mode commentary. The Nuge, Draisaitl, Larson, Pulju Harvey got up to 87 overall. Higgins, top 4. I'm not going to take a look at the top 4. We'll be here forever. Florida Panthers. Let's see. Aaron Ekblad, 95 overall, 27 years of age. Barkov, yeah, they got a nice prime 1-2 punch right there with Barkov and Ekblad, 27, both 90 overall players. No youngins, though, that have grown. LA Kings, let's see, Kempf, top 9 high. He grew to an 88 overall, not bad. They got Ryan Johansson on this team. They must have signed him in free agency. Okay. The Minnesota Wilds, I was going to say, Nail Yakupov, franchise player. What the hell is going on? A franchise player? What? A franchise grinder went? Holy shit, Sergei Yakupov. All right, boys. I will forget about this. During our live stream on Saturday at noon, can you guys let me know to trade for Sergei Yakupov from the Minnesota Wild? I want this guy. I don't care if his trade value is all the way up there. I'll trade everyone on our team. Sergei freaking Yakupov. A franchise grinder. I want him. Shot blocking 99, stick checking 94, defensive awareness 95. This guy would be the best penalty killer of all time. Hang on. Is he a plus player? He's got to be. -9. All right, well, he's getting... Oh, it's only his first year. All right, boys. So I'm trading for Sergei Yakupov in our live stream. I have to. What a beast of a player that is. Montreal Canadiens. Let's see. Gallagher, Galchenyuk. They picked up Kyle Turris. Lindholm. Oh, that's oh no, that's Elias Lindholm. Juleson, Ruzicka. Okay, very nice. Let's go the Nashville Predators. Roman Josi, Kuznetsov. They got Kuznetsov as a center there now. Wayne Simmons is over there. Not bad. The New Jersey Devils, Taylor Hall. Shushko. See this guy, he won the Calder. 24 years of age, wins the Calder. He went in 2017, 9th overall. So the New Jersey Devils taking their time growing these players. Sebastian Aho, he didn't grow much more than we when we traded him away. What did we trade him away for again? Oh, I forget at this point. John Tavares, all right, 11. This guy went in the year 2 NHL entry draft, 4th overall, so I could have picked him up instead of Ryan Merkley as well. Nazem Kadri, DeCall, Matthew Barzell, all right. The New York Rangers, Zibanejad, Stepan, Hayes, VC, nobody. No, they haven't drafted any elite players that have grown just yet. Timothy Liljegren. Oh, man, this would have been a nice defender to pick up as well. Instead of Nolan Patrick, right? Timothy Liljegren. He's got some nice stats. Just looking at everyone that we could have. I was going to get Timothy Liljegren, but the freaking Ottawa Senators decided they need a super sweet combination. Erik Karlsson and Liljegren playing on the first line. They also have Philip Forsberg. How the hell did that happen? Very nice, very nice. The Philadelphia Flyers, Provorov, 90 overall. Rantanen, traded from the Colorado Avalanche, so he stayed at 89 overall. I think that was it. Well, you know what? All my trades weren't good now. Didn't win a Stanley Cup. They're all god-awful. Crosby's still killing it at 35 years of age. I guarantee you he's starting to drop off now. San Jose Sharks, let's see. Max Pacioretty over there with San Jose. No rookies. St. Louis. Fucking St. Louis. I don't even want to take a look at St. Louis. Tarasenko, Parayko, Petrangelo, Giroux, Shattenkirk, Schwartz. I've seen this roster enough times. We finally get by them. The storybook ending is there. We get by the nightmare St. Louis Blues, and what happens? We lose to the Dallas Stars. It's ridiculous. Tampa Bay Lightning, Hedman and Stamkos. I mean, they're both 95. They're both franchise still. But they got to win a Stanley Cup with that team next year or it's over. Quack, Yan, all right. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, man. The Toronto Maple Leafs, yeah, see what I mean? Luka Burzan and Austin Matthews, right there's your team. First overall in 2016, first overall in 18, not 17. I take it back. Right, it was Nico Hischier who would go first in 2017. Or Nolan Patrick, one of those two. Well, Nolan Patrick actually dropped back to 3. You guys know what I mean. But they got 2 first overall picks in 3 years. 23 years of age, 25 years of age. Yeah, I'd say the Toronto Maple Leafs are set for the future. Marner's in their 26 years of age, 90 overall. Nylander, 27 years of age, 90 overall. I'm surprised these guys haven't won more Stanley Cups, man. Next up, the Vancouver Canucks. All right, so Oli Juholiv. Oh, this is going to be a rough contract year for the Canucks. You guys gave Jake Virtanen $7.5 million per season. No wonder you're a god-awful team. The next 10 years of failure. Cale Addison, all right, so he was one that went early. Brock Beausier, Owen Tippett, both 86 overall. Next up, we got the Washington Capitals. Okay, anyone? I don't see any young elite players. The Winnipeg Jets, the best offensive line in the NHL. Patrick Laine, Mark Scheifele, and Ehlers. No, Kyle Connor. Yeah, it was Kyle Connor. Those guys are just filthy with their offense. Back to the top of the list, the Anaheim Ducks. Anyone? No, we don't see anyone. The Arizona Coyotes, Nico Hischier, Dylan Strome. All right. Oh, here we go. Jay Goulet, or Goulet, a left-wing power forward, drafted 2nd overall. All right, decent. He's growing, 85 overall. He's only 20. He could still grow. He's fast. Not really a body checker, though. He's got strength. Yeah, he's not there yet. I don't know what to expect out of this guy. He's got some weird stats all over the place. I don't know if I like that rookie. Just because he's got some weird stats that boost that number. Rasmus Dahlin, boys. I should have went with this guy over Ryan Merkley. Looking back at it now, yeah, 40 points. And then when he got going, 73. Why he only got 38 points this year, I don't know. They must have played him on the wrong line. Yeah, the Boston Bruins have been horrible. Yeah, they must have too many defensemen that they put him on the top 4. They took him off the top power play line or something. There's no way he drops from 70 points to 33 with the same conditions. Jack Eichel, his contract is up, 26 years of age. First time he can be an unrestricted free agent. He's Gonzo out of Buffalo. Nylander, no. Calgary Flames, let's see. Andronov. This guy, 21 years. I think this guy's an actual player. I think I created this guy or edited his stats. I think he's an actual player. Passing 93, offensive awareness 95. Not bad for the Calgary Flames. And just 2 more to go. Carolina Hurricanes, Gabriel Velarde, 80. Oh, I don't even want to take a look at this. The freaking playmakers from hell. Wenberg, Velarde, Brassard, Rask. Fucking pieces of shit. And also the Chicago Blackhawks. Kane is still there. Panarin. Bachvist, and Debenkrat. No, that's it. All right, boys, so there you go. We got time. Yeah, I'll do it again. Hang on. Because this is one of the well, there's a lot of drawbacks with anything made by EA Sports, right? But I've been doing this GM mode now for a while on current gen. You know, one thing that I don't like is that the teams stay very similar. We've just gone 7 years, and the teams still have very similar rosters. I would love to see teams that are not winning, you know, make splashes, make changes. They're just forced to make changes, you know? You got way too many teams that have the same players on it. And also, if anyone's gone farther than 10 years, you notice that late, there are teams with, like, no goaltenders. I mean no goaltenders. Their best goalie might be a 79 overall or a low 80. And then there'll be other teams with, like, 2 goaltenders, sometimes 3, and they're paying those 2 goaltenders $7.5 million. All right? And you know what would happen in real life, so I just want to go through this, right? So our goaltender situation makes sense. 87 and an 84, 6.5 for our starter, and we got to sign our backup this year. Watch, go through some of the teams here, right? So I'm just going to sort by overall. So that makes sense there. They got Bobrovsky, no backup. That makes sense there. Allstat, 86. I might not have gone far enough into this. All right, so the Detroit Red Wings' best goaltender is an 84 overall. So if we find a team here with 2 studs, that's the problem. Edmonton, that's fine, the starter and the backup. Florida, okay, that's fine, the starter and the backup. Here we go. So the Los Angeles Kings' best goaltender is 81 overall, and they're paying him $5.705 million. All right, you'd think that they could make an acquisition to bring in an 82 or an 83 overall goaltender. Let's keep on going here. An 83, 82, see what I mean? Goaltenders just get horrible. A 90 and a 72, so Montreal still has Carey Price. Here we go. So all those teams with those shitty goaltenders, while Nashville has Korpisalo, Gravel, Soros, and Domingue. An 85, an 85, an 83, and an 81. Teams like LA would be trying to acquire a guy like Gravel, all right, for a first-round pick or something. Nashville has some studs, but instead now 3 of those goaltenders are going to go to unrestricted free agency, and I guarantee you they probably signed all 4 of them. The New Jersey Devils here, all right, 87 and 80, that makes sense. That makes sense right there for the New York Islanders. Here we go. The New York Rangers. They got Ranta, 82 overall. That's their best goaltender. Ridiculous. Yeah, you got to bring in more goalies in this game. Ottawa Senators, Darcy Kemper, 80 overall, 33 years of age. That's their best goaltender. Philadelphia Flyers, they got an 85 and an 83. Why wouldn't Ottawa try to be acquiring this 83 overall guy, right? Why wouldn't they try to acquire it from me? Pittsburgh, look at this. Pittsburgh Penguins have Murray, $8 million. They're also paying Tristan Jarry $5 million, and they have this guy Foot that they're going to give a contract to as well. This is what I mean. This 86 Foot should be on LA, while Jarry should be on Ottawa. You see what I mean? 7 years that they're holding on to these players, paying them and having them on the bench. The San Jose Sharks, they got Jones and Skinner, 89, and now Stuart Skinner, 86. He could be on another team at this point. The St. Louis Blues, here we go. Fitzpatrick, Opilka, Andrew Hammond. These guys are all on the team. I would love to see the... Look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. Vasilevsky, Urquhart, Lukainen, Markstrom, 86, 85, 83, 83. You're telling me these guys didn't unload any of these goaltenders at the trade deadline for some forwards, some defensemen? Toronto Maple Leafs, 88 overall goaltenders. The Vancouver Canucks, 91, 281s. That's not bad. Washington Capitals, a 94 and an 84. I did trade away Rodrigue to them, but they just let him go. Winnipeg Jets, an 86, an 85, and an 84. There are teams out there with the 80 overall goaltender. Gibson, this guy, an 85, 281s in there. Arizona, let's see. Arizona, their best goalie is an 80. Let's go back to Anaheim. You telling me Arizona couldn't take on this guy? This is what I mean. Your GM mode EA Sports has to get far better. Boston Bruins has an 87, an 84, and an 83. So the rosters stay... Look, and Buffalo's got two 80s. They couldn't have taken one of those Boston Bruin goaltenders. All right, they're the Calgary Flames, Carolina Hurricanes, the Chicago Blackhawks. Best goaltender is a 76 overall. This is what I mean. All right, so this is why... Sony's MLB is far better. The computer makes trades. The second that the team recognizes that it has two players in the same position, they'll trade one of those players. In EA Sports' NHL, the only way players get traded is if for some reason two computer teams have two players or draft picks on the trading block, and they send a trade offer to one another, and the trade equals out, then the trade will go through. But there's no... going outside of the box. There's no thinking, okay, we need a goalie. We're going to go acquire a goalie that a team doesn't want to give up, and we're going to give a boatload, a first and a big-time prospect, because our best goalie is a 76 overall. We can't go into the season with that. I should have been having offers from Chicago, a first, a second, and a prospect for Gabriel DePenta. You know what I mean? So EA Sports, get your shit together. I want to see that for next year, because there's no point in going past like 5, 6, 7 years. It just, some teams are just completely written off. They have no goaltenders, and then other teams have like 3. All right, so that's enough of that. We just took a look around the NHL league, and now we're going to go back to the contracts, all right? So for the Colorado Avalanche, let's just have some fun here, right? So say we want to sign everyone. We got Ilya Samsonov, $6.5 million. Gabriel DePenta, he wants 1 year, $1.5 million. I'll give him that. Now we'll go to the defenseman. All right, so Cam Fowler, 31 years of age, 5 years. I'm not going to take anything off. 6.9. All right. Sanheim, 5.5. Ryan Merkley, what do you want? 4 years at 4.750. Tyson Berry, what do you want? He wants 2 years at 6.1. And Derek Pouliot, what do you want? He wants 2 years at 5.9. All right, so we're going to sign those guys. I'll wait on Goodbranson. Let's go right wingers here. Jonathan Drouin, what do you want? 6 years, 7.3. I'll give it to him. Jaskin, we're not going to sign you. Left wingers, Maxime Comtois, what do you want? 4 years at 7.6. Can't believe I didn't win a Stanley Cup with this team. Kerdeals, I'll wait on you. Nolan, here's the big ones. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it, you playoff bust. All right, so on the live stream, boys, I am tender qualifying offer for Nolan Patrick, and I'm trading him to the Minnesota Wild for that Yakupov franchise freaking grinder. He's garbage, Nolan Patrick, all right? He wants 10.6. He doesn't come through in the playoffs. Our captain, Nathan McKinnon, yeah, I'll get McKinnon back. He's cheaper, and he actually came through for us. Adam Henrique, I'll give you that contract, right? Clayton Clutch Keller, I'll give you that contract, right? Frederick Gauthier and Tyson Jost, I'll give the contract to. All right, so that's basically the core, the young future. There's a few players like Goodbranson and Kerdeals and the fourth line, the third line that we could always replace, but these are the big boy contracts. Now let's see, is there any way in hell that we can actually get everyone back on this team? All right, so Fowler's back, Tyson Jost back, Barry's back, McKinnon, Henry, Keller, DePenta, there it is. So Jonathan Drouin, he's decided to reject it. Oh, he's not happy being on this team anymore. I think it may be time to go our separate ways. I'm gonna lose players to free agency because they don't want to be here anymore. Pouliot's accepted, Merkley's accepted, Comtels, Nolan Patrick. All right, so we are actually able to sign a lot more players than I thought we would. Cap space. You know what? I think I could get Drouin back on the team. Our cap space right now is $1 million, so that's it. That's the reason we can't sign him. So we gave everyone the contract. If we sort by overall, Drouin wanted, what, $8 million basically, $8.5 million if we want him back on this team. We only have $1 million of cap space, so we can't do that. Let's see, Gauthier, who's a great third liner for us. He's only 28 years of age. I'd like to sign him rather than some of these other guys. Same thing with Kerdeals. These guys come through for us, right? Well, Goodbranson I could always let go. I'd like to get Voloshenko back. So, you know, it's about It's about trading away somebody, freeing up that cap space, and bringing in more. I think Nolan Patrick is the one that's got to go. Trade Nolan Patrick for that franchise guy. You free up the $10.5 million. The other guy that you're bringing in is probably still on that minor league deal. That'll free up the space that you could sign, what's his name, Jonathan Drouin. We don't have to sign Adam Henrique. We don't have to sign Tyson Berry. There's a few guys that we could just let go to free agency, right? As long as we keep the core together. And we could also unload Ilya Samsonov at the draft, get rid of that $6.5 million, and bring back, what's his name? I'm doing it, boys. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Yeah, Calvin Pickard. I'm bringing him back at 31 years of age. I'm trading Samsonov for Pickard straight up. Screw it. All right, so what do you think we should do, boys? So let me just simulate to the free agency. I want to see if I can actually make that trade go through, because that's it. That's how I'm gonna promote the live stream. All right, if you guys want to see how a franchise grinder simulates, noon on Saturday, I'm gonna say around noon. All right, could be as early as 11:30, could be as late as 12:30. You never know. Friday night, things might get crazy. But noon on Saturday, we are going to continue this live stream. I'd like to go at least 3 years, see if we can bring a Stanley Cup, and also do the big-time rebuild or the retool here with the assets that we have. So sign the free agents. Let's just see who would be in there. Jonathan Drouin's probably at the top here somewhere. Rasmus Ristolainen, 89 overall. Sami Vatanen. Man, did Rasmus Ristolainen last the entire year? Because I think he was in free agency last year, but he dropped. Vatanen, Myers, Gaudreau, Drouin. There he is. All right, so Drouin's up there, but Johnny Gaudreau's in there as well. All right, so we got to save up some money. Evgeny Malkin's in there. Kiefer Bellows is in there. Okay, so cool. So we'll take care of that. Now let me just go back to trades. There were some teams with the crazy goaltenders, right? I want to take a look at that again. I want to see if they signed. What was it? Winnipeg. Let me just show you, because remember those teams with all those goalies, and they had like a bunch of them that were going to free agency. I promise you, they signed them. I promise you, they signed them. All right, so hang on a second here. All right, so 90, 85. Yeah, so they're giving the 90 overall Gibson $8.1 million for the next 7 years, but they also decided to give this guy $3.5 million for the next 3 years. But then also this goaltender $1.2 for another 2 years. This is ridiculous. They should be trading those players away. Go back to was it Winnipeg? Yeah, it was Winnipeg. Winnipeg had all those goaltenders. Yeah, look, they got these guys signed. Look at this. Look, 2 years, 6.4 for Comrie, 2 years for 4.8 for Hellbuck, 2 years for 1.7 for Scott. It's just ridiculous. Trade these players, man. EA Sports, put some more work into your goddamn GM mode. I know you guys have a fetish for Hockey Ultimate Team, but geez, players like me who didn't even put on Hockey Ultimate Team this year, we're just watching god-awful simulation. Look at this. Look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. They got this guy 5.6 for 3 years. They got Vasilevsky 6.1 for 3 years. They got Luke Connon for 1.5 for 2 years. Markstrom 1.5 for 2 years. I mean, they signed these players. And then they let big-time studs go to free agency. All right, I think I've made my point. Have I made my point? I think I have. So EA Sports, fix that shit, all right? Bring more goalies in the draft. Make them grow quicker. And once they become like 83, 84 overall, they should be very valuable to teams with goaltenders less than that. They should be willing to give up first overall picks for that shit. All right, so the Minnesota Wild. Let's see what I can do here, all right? So we'll go to right wingers. Let's see, it's going to be, yep, off the charts. Trade values off the charts. Franchise. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Can't do it. I'm going to have to trade. You know what? I'm going to have to trade for him. Oh, I can't trade for him at the draft. His contract here was up this year, and they just gave him 10.6 for 3. So I'm not saving any money doing that. All right, so I might have to take that back. Ah, crap. Well, let's just see if we can make it go through at least. Is Patrick? No, Nolan Patrick's not up there. So I'll give you Nolan Patrick, all right, and I'll give you a first, a second, and a third for that franchise stud. Will it go through? Jeez. Yeah, he's a stud, boys. We're not getting that guy. I might have to throw in then maybe a Travis Sanheim in there as well. Come on now, Minnesota. Patrick, a first, a second, a third, and Travis Sanheim for the franchise. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Beautiful. So welcome to the Colorado Avalanche, Sergei Yakupov, the perfect winger for Nathan McKinnon, Maxime Comtois. All right, boys, so we're going to end it right there. It seems like we can make that acquisition, but our salary cap issues, or salary cap. So I want to see some comments here. All right, so I'm already fired. I want to see some comments because I'm going to read them all in preparation for the live stream on Saturday at noon. I want to know what you guys think we should do. There's a lot of ideas running through my head. I could hold on to the core and try to trade away anyone with the lingering salary cap, like the older guys like Henrique, maybe even make do with Gauthier and Cardil's going to free agency. Or I could take it another way. Trade away guys like Drouin, McKinnon, Patrick, and then just bring in the guys who have performed well for us. Keep Gauthier, keep Cardil's, make a line with Tyson Jost, Clayton Clutch Keller, and Maxime Comtois. You know what I mean? Like, completely change it. Go after Sergei Yakupov, because if I trade away Drouin, McKinnon, and Nolan Patrick, then I can bring in Sergei Yakupov, but then I'm going to have to face Nolan Patrick with the Minnesota Wild in our division, right? So it's setting up for a nice live stream, boys. We're going to call it right there. Let me know what you guys think. I'm sorry, Colorado. I failed with the YouTube Stanley Cup, but I might be able to bring you guys a Stanley Cup during a live stream. So, boys, I will see you this Saturday at noon, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we finally try to bring a Stanley Cup to the Colorado Avalanche. Be sure to check out our website, 2bcsports.com, where the hockey talk continues. Find myself and others in the live interactive chat, or dive into the active forums to talk about sports and gaming. You can also find us on Twitch, where the live streams come to life.